Are you looking for a faster video? Well, today it's a live stream, and I know you're probably looking for a really nice and tidy, edited down video, but I have ways for you to make it faster. You can click that little gear on the YouTube settings right there on the video and adjust the playback speed, make me sound like a chipmunk, and it'll go a lot faster. You can also look and see if there's timestamps for this project in the description, and if you're on a desktop, you can hover over the time bar at the bottom of the screen and see if it's chunked up into chapters, and then that way you can go directly to the step you're looking for. And lastly, you can also tap on the screen on the right hand side of the video picture or on the left hand side to make the video jump ahead, forward or backward if you're on a mobile device. And you can adjust that amount in your settings so you can have complete control over how much it jumps. So if you are on a desktop, you can use the fast forward or the rewind, and that will make it go faster as well. You can also enable subtitles, and the little CC on the screen will enable closed captioning. That way, if I am a little bit harder to understand with that double playback speed, the subtitles might help you out. All right, well, I know that it's not a nice little edited video, but if you sew with me, we'll get there together and it'll be lots of fun. And now for the live stream. Happy sewing! Hello, how are you? Nice to see you all. Ah, Amy, you're multitasking. Hi, Mullen. How are you? Nice to see you. Hey, Margaret. Hey, Rachel, Fiona. Hey, Shasha, how's it going? Nice to see you all. Did you guys have a good weekend and week? I didn't see you all last week. This should be a pretty chill week here on the stream. I actually really love these weeks. I get lots of things done. I feel a little guilty because I know that not everybody else is like able to clear out their bins because they're sitting here watching me do it. But you should join on. Just listen to me or hang out with people. Get your own things done. It's permission. I got a package. I just got it. I thought I'd share it with you all because it's like 2.5 years in the making. So this is an anything goes week, which usually just means that I have like repairs I need to do or something that never got finished sewing. This week I actually have bags from my old business because I found a bunch of cut pieces and I just thought I really need to just finally finish these out. Some of them I'll sell, some of them I'll just sell as kits. And yeah, and this is one of them right here, the accordion. This is the only one I'm going to sew all of. I won't sell as a kit because it's too hard to sew. I don't mean that in a demeaning way as far as skill level goes, but it's really heavy duty, and the accuracy part, like I know all the little pitfalls of sewing it. I know what to watch for. And I only have like 22 of them total, and so I'm just going to make them all. So oh no, that's a bummer. That's a bummer, Aisha. Hi, Terry. Hi, Hannah. Hi, Darlene. How's it going? That's awesome. It's like, I always jokingly call that my 15-minute pile, because it's like I'll just be like, okay, I need to fix that. I need to fix that. And I think when you know anything about sewing, you start maintaining your makes, right? Some of them, or maybe you just like put up with something, but then someday finally you're like, I'm gonna fix this. But then it sits in my pile, and then I get around to it, and I'm like, gosh dang it, that only took me 15 minutes to do. Why didn't I just do it sooner? You know, so that's why I was called that. Oh, but you've been doing lots of knitting, Malin, right? You're not, the sewing slump thing, I feel like people feel bad when they're not interested in sewing, you know? And I don't know, I doubt you feel that way, Mullen, but I just mean like sometimes I feel like people say it to me because they feel guilty. They're not like watching the streams or participating in the guild as much, but I do not like take that personally. And I think it's like, if we're all multi-craftual, right? creating is good. And you can always share any crafts in the guild, right? That's just, that's definitely a given. So, but yeah, I go through slumps with things as well. And I think it's like, I actually kind of feel good when that happens because I know that when I go back to it, it's going to be great. It's almost like, ooh, you know, it's like when you have, like right now I have some itchies and scratchies and I know like when they're gone, it's going to feel so good. Hey, Aisha, another Aisha. Hey, Libby. Oh, you have some frivolous projects too? Not that mine are frivolous. I'm just teasing. Some of them are. Well, I did add a dog cone to the pile because this Loki had surgery almost 2 weeks ago, and so he had to wear the cone for a while. And he was amazing. He's the only pet I've ever had that's like, okay, I'll wear this, you know. But he's a pug, so basically you can either look at it as if his head is his neck or his neck is his head. Basically, there's not much difference. There's really no head. It's just he's all neck, right? This one started ripping because he's just wearing it so much. And I think it was a little big for him. So I'm gonna replace it. It's only one pattern piece, right? So if I get to it by the end of the week, he doesn't need it right now. I'm gonna replace this because eventually that's just not gonna be, it's like a paper. I can't really repair it. Maybe I could. Maybe I could repair it, but I just really think that once that's caught, it's gonna go, you know? So, anyway, I'll fix that too. All right, so I thought I would do a couple mending things at the beginning of the stream, and then I do some production sewing, just kind of mix it up every day. Appeal to whatever you're looking for. You've been playing games mostly. That's awesome. I love that. It was way too hot to sew very much over the summer. Yeah. Yeah, I get that too. I'm seeing all the like mystery knit-alongs begin, and I've done a few of those. And for the record, I don't really knit right now. I have one sweater cast on that I'd really like to make, but I'm really not making any progress on it. I will admit, like when I'm at home, I don't really sew or craft very much. I work on our house and our yard, and I work. I really like working, meaning like I'm always creating like skill building sessions or thumbnails or organizing YouTube videos or whatever, you know, editing. I play video games, obviously, in the evening though, kind of late at night. So yeah, so I feel like I don't really have the materials at home to do much crafting. I wish I did, and when I bring it all home, then I just don't use it. So. Yeah, right, Libby? Yeah, it's like Tyvek. It's made from like that kind of papery fabric, like a dollar bill, Tyvek or something. You just got out of, yeah, Aisha did. You came out with a bang, Aisha. Sydney, you've had a lot on your plate. I feel like you are creating and it's your kitchen. So don't you feel like, I feel like it's like anything in life, something will fill the role of that thing, right? It's almost like you know, like when people say something terrible happens. You're out in public and someone collapses, right? And there's 5 people around, 5 strangers. One person is going to rush over to help. Maybe 2 people are going to rush over to help. One person is going to just stand back in shock. One person's going to panic. One person's going to call for help, right? And I swear that just because that person is the one who panicked right then doesn't mean they're the person who would panic every time. It's almost like everybody has to fulfill their roles. So if everyone does that, that last thing is like to panic, you know? So your kitchen is fulfilling the role of your crafting interest right now. So yeah, right, Amy? I think that's it. You know, I used to really get hard on myself that I would, both ways. Like I get hard on myself for working all the time, especially since like, I don't know if you would call this work or, you know, because I'm not like, I don't have a salary, I don't have anything like that. And, well, anyway, that's a whole other thing, right? Let's not poke the bear. But I will, A, get hard at myself that I like to work all the time. And then B, I'll get hard at on myself when I don't feel like I'm working enough while I'm sitting there like planning videos and scripting things over breakfast. And I'll be like, gosh, I really need to get to work. And it finally dawned on me, you are working. You're not just doing this because it's like your hobby. You're literally planning videos and writing scripts. I was today designing my rubric for doing my next Let's Be Honest will be about a book. It's going to be a book review, so I've been trying to design the rubric. Anyway. Yeah, exactly, Sydney. It does, because you're thinking, you're designing in your head. It is fun to see your kitchen remodel, exactly. That really ended the slump. Yeah, I like seeing discussions when people say, what does it take for you to get out of your slump or whatever? And sometimes it is like touching your fabric. Sometimes it's just looking at magazines. Sometimes it's just like, I'm going to fix everything. Like for me, unfinished things really weigh me down. And that's why I always have to I feel like this week always comes about this time of year. Anyway, let me show you the fabric I got. So this is the story. And this is the accordion, by the way. If you hear me say accordion, this is what I mean. It's a knitting needle case. You can use it for other things, but it was designed for circular needles. Okay, so let me tell you about this fabric. I have no idea how good this is going to be, but I saw this fabric somehow on Instagram a long time ago. I want to say like 2.5 years ago. I'm not kidding. And when I tried to track it down, I learned that this company prints. They print, I was going to say on demand, but it's not on demand. So they design their own prints and they print them themselves and then they sell them. And they do pre-orders, right? All of their fabrics are not all available all the time. And this is why it took so long for me to get it. That's right, Sydney, exactly. They check in on you. Yeah, Darlene, right? That's how I feel right now. That's awesome. I love that. So I wanted this fabric instantly when I saw it because my sister is really into celestial things and constellations. And I saw the fabric come about once up for sale. I signed up for their newsletter list. They send me these things every week or whatever. I would comb the fabrics. Okay, the fabric I want isn't there. I finally saw it. I missed it because apparently it was like extras from their last pre-order, and I didn't realize it was like limitless, right? So, oh, okay, Libby. Will you message me that? Will you message me that? Just copy and paste it somehow and send it to me somehow. I appreciate it. So I ordered this. Let's see if it says inside when I ordered it. Because I ordered this probably at the beginning of summer. And that's how long it took for me to get it. And I finally decided, like I started asking my mom. I was like, Mom. Pay attention, Mom. Read your text. This fabric I've been wanting for Laura, my sister, has finally come available for sale. And now I'm panicking because it's like, it comes about so rarely that I wanted to make sure I got something she would actually want and use. And my original idea was to make like a bedspread, which was going to be like really costly, but I just thought it was worth it, right? But I had never gotten fabric from this company before. I didn't know what it was like, right? They print on a few different bases. So what happens is they'll put the fabric up, and then you get to pick whatever base that you want from their options, and then you have to wait for it. Oh my God, there's nothing surrounding this fabric. I almost cut right into it. Look at that. It's right there. These people want me to fail. Oh my God. So, so my mom was like, I really think you should ask her. So I asked my sister. So she has an inkling about this, and she asked for a hoodie. Oh, this is the inner packaging. Well, oh my God. I'm bound to cut this stuff. Thanks, Libby. I appreciate it. So I don't know if you guys will like this fabric, but there's something very special about it. I'm going to put it on the full screen. Ooh, I want to use my button. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh. This is very lightweight. Oh, this is a French terry. It's very stretchy. But look at this. See, so it's constellations that goes to this forest. Why is it in 2 pieces? What the heck? Oh wait, maybe I got 2 different fabrics. It's been so long. Why is the autofocus acting like that? Oh my gosh. Oh, because it's on. Jerk. Ruining my fabric reveal. Yeah, so isn't that cool? So the length grain is I honestly cannot tell. Oh, so this is the length grain. So it's not going to be cut cross grain. So anyway. So this is my fabric. So this is French terry. And this is, why is, oh, okay. So I guess you do get it in separate pieces then. Sorry. Hey, do you want to see it up close? So the fabric company, I'll put it in the chat. I'm not affiliated with them or anything. But they just put up pre-orders for a completely different set of fabrics. It's called Blended Threads, I think. Yeah, they're a Canadian company. I'll put it in the chat so you can check it out. If you want a fabric right away, not going to happen. It's, yeah, I guess you would say it's like a panel. It's very nice. It's very nice. I like it. It's, I would say, this is the French terry, but look at this. It is stretchy. Like, this would actually make really nice leggings. Do you, Sydney? Yeah, so they have other variations of this. You're right. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. So let's hope I can, make it, something that will fit her. It's not, I really, like, this is it is a French terry, but it is definitely feels more like a really nice Lycra. So as far as a hoodie goes, I don't know about that. It'd be like a fabric hoodie. Like a hoodie made out of legging. So that's a little disappointing, I will admit. That's a little disappointing. Because it's very thin. For a French, like for something like a hoodie, you know what I mean? Maybe I could line the hoodie. I could line the hoodie. Why not? I could just line it with a similar fabric weight. Maybe like a brushed poly. I could line it with a brushed poly so she gets a fuzzy factor, because French terry isn't classically fuzzy. French terry is the step before it becomes fleece, like sweatshirt fleece. Are y'all over on that site now? But yeah, look at this. It looks like a photograph, doesn't it? It's very nice. I love, like for me, I'm a really big sucker for texture like this. Background texture. I love this. Look at that. Yeah, anyway, I'm really excited it finally arrived. 2.5 years, you guys. Since before the panini. Like, for a long time, I've been waiting to get my hands on that stuff. So, let's see. What are we going to sew first? Well, let's see. I have a, speaking of sweatshirts. I'm sorry, my microphone keeps moving around. She did. She told me she wanted a hoodie. So once oh, Look, something fell out. What is this? So, so that was $39 a panel. You're right. So Sydney was whoever said panel. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. And so I was like, oh, is that my home address? It's not. The shipping, $25. So it's a special gift. This is called the, so yeah, it's a bamboo cotton French terry. It's very nice fabric, by the way. It doesn't feel like a French terry hoodie. It's probably the bamboo. It's very smooth face. So, what is this thing? Is this a zipper pull? No, it's not a zipper pull. It's a bobby pin. It's a bobby pin of scissors. Okay, well that was worth the whole order. Cool. That was fun. Okay. Yeah, so she told me she wanted a zip hoodie. So I think I'll maybe get some like brushed poly. Don't you think? All right, so this first thing I recorded a video for Wardrobe by Me for their half zip sweater, and I never finished the sweatshirt. So I'm gonna finish that off real quick. I almost ended the stream. Oh man. All right, so anyway, let me put you guys on my phone so I can see the chat. Here we go. Man, ads. I've been getting the kookiest ads lately. All right. So this has a, I'm just going to donate this sweatshirt when it's done. So yeah, I'll just sew it up. So what are you guys working on? What are you guys up to? I think I need to lessen the pressure on the presser foot there. There we go. Oh! I actually have a fun announcement. And this isn't really how I planned on doing it, but here, check this out. I now have emotes. I designed these. So you have to be a member though. Here, that's the drawback, sorry. But, and there's more coming. I'm just kind of getting used to it. But if you want to be a member of the channel, it's like a monthly fee. It's a 70-30 split, so it's actually not bad, just because I know people will ask me about that. And you get emotes. And you might eventually get other content too. So I wanted to be able to gift memberships to already paying members of the guild, and I can't, and I'm really sorry about that. You just finished your sandhill sling. Yes, I feel like that's exactly, oh geez, how everyone feels when they finish a sandhill sling. They want to make another one right away. I should get all of your guys' permission to post your pictures on Instagram and show everybody what we did, because it's really fun to see everybody's sandhill sling. You're making an alligator print fanny pack. You're cleaning up your sewing room. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's right. You were on that bra bee thing. See, you weren't really in a sewing slump. You were learning. That's awesome. Yeah, that sling is really awesome. I finished my brother's. Do you guys want to see it? It's on my dress form. My brother-in-law, sorry. Why is this creeping? I have a bit to sew over here, so you're not going to see my face, but I can see chat. Yeah, what do you guys want to do for mods? Sydney out here with the real questions. I liked Michelle's mod for making it a cycling little thing, and so she put the webbing across the back so she can clip lights on it when she's writing. Oh, you want to add a method to holding a water bottle? Okay, so Fiona. One of my favorite ways to do that is to make a collapsible band of fabric. That way, if you're not using it, it's just flush with the bag. Oh, but you're talking probably on the outside. Huh. Yeah, that would actually not be hard to do, Fiona. I can show you how in a workshop. I'll draft you a pattern if you want. Just let me know. Oh, a small hand. I did that on Crickets and my sisters. I put a little diagonal handle on the top. I think that's a smart idea. I agree with you. I like even a little loop. A little loop would be great, so you can just hang it up. You got a piece of cork fabric this summer for a bag? Ooh. Oh. That's perfect. Oh, okay. Yeah, Fiona. Okay. Yeah, I like that. When it can be, you know, when you're not using your water bottle, yeah, and then you can just keep it, push it flush with the bag. Waistband. Dang, I'm making so many holiday gifts this year. Like, I'm actually, I'm not saying that out of stress. I'm just saying, like, I actually have a lot of people covered. So I have, like, I made the sling for my mom and a sling for my brother-in-law. I'm making this little hoodie for my sister. I'm making button downs for the 3 guys. That only leaves my sister's kids and my own kid. Oh yeah, Aisha. A tab. I need more clarification. Do you mean like a tab like Aisha's thinking about for a loop? Wait, where did puppy wrangling come into the puppy wrangling? Wait, do I not have all the chat on? Or are you puppy wrangling? Is that your volunteer thing right now? I gotcha. Okay, so here's my... This fabric smells like... It smells weird. That's why I'm not keeping this thing. I don't know what to do about it. It just smells really odd. And I think it's just what it's made of, you know? All right. I just established, okay, this is the front. All right, so I'm gonna push this. Yeah, what's the tab for, Rachel? Do you mean like, so you have something to grab on as well? Or do you mean, well, I just wanna know. I'll wait to hear. So when I made one of these, I made one for me, and I actually really love it. It's a little short because I ended up, I think, going 1 or 2 sizes down from what I was supposed to make for me, because it's got a lot of ease. Like, it's a pretty full sweatshirt, a very roomy sweatshirt. And, but I didn't keep it the length of the one I should have made, you know. I think I did that because I didn't have much fabric, and I made this spontaneously for her. Like, she just said, hey, do you have time? And I try and use stashed fabrics. She'll pay for the fabrics, but I just try and use stash because it's faster. I don't have to wait. And I had this fabric in my stash I wanted to use. So I made me one, and I made a couple sizes smaller. But why I'm mentioning this is that when I put this band on and the cuffs, I used that. Remember how we all talked about the Nick of Time fabrics? And I used this like really nice heavy cotton rib knit from them, and oof, that stuff does not stretch very much. And so it was hard to get the cuffs onto this sweatshirt. I remember I was like, oof, and they fit me like perfectly. Like, there's no scrunching them up my arms, you know. So yeah. Look at this little mismatch here. We're finishing stuff. We are not stressing about stuff. A tab to grab on. Oh yeah, yeah, I like that idea. A tab could be kind of fun too. You could have some like fun, oh my gosh, this fleece is just like not letting me adjust it very well. Just making sure I caught all those layers in. Zipper pocket and snap pocket on that outside sometime. You could do a pocket under the strap. This is the back, so I want this to go this way. Okay. Ooh, dress number 9. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the skill building session on pockets might be able to help with that, because there's some cargo pockets and pleats you could copy. Yeah, do we have any Florida people here? And how are you? I checked on someone in the guild because they live in the Caribbean, and I was like, oof, I haven't seen her, and I want to make sure all is well. She did check in with me. She said that it was a tropical storm when it was near her. She is fine, but there was a lot of pretty serious flooding in some parts of her island. I know Today in Jen's Sewing Room, that YouTube channel gal, Jen, she lives in Florida. Lurking Guy, Terry. Yes, if you would like rigid ribbed knit. So I used that on the collar of the Ozark vest. Remember the Ozark vest, Terry? I use that on the collar, you know, and it's perfect. As far as like the cuffs of this, it was a little too rigid, but rigid rib knit, yeah. And they sent me like, I only needed a 1/4 yard, and they sent me like 2. You know how they are. Yeah, I'm glad she's okay too. It's so funny because I'm kind of antisocial in real life, but if I don't see someone, even a stranger, I start thinking about them. The number of times I've actually messaged people on Instagram and said, I haven't seen you on here in a while. Are you okay? It's so nosy. I don't really want to know like anything nosy. I just want to make sure that they're okay. I never heard back from one person, and it kind of bummed me out because I really liked her posts. And her posts also promoted a lot of accessibility in sewing, and she herself is in a wheelchair, so she always did a lot of good posts about like what the garment looks like seated and stuff like that, and other things. And during the panini, I did not see her. Still worried about her. She's British. Reached out to another British person. They said they hadn't seen her either, so. I did the same thing when I didn't see Thread Theory on forever. I messaged, I was like, hi, I hope you're okay. Okay, I just need the cuffs and then we're done with this smelly thing. All right. This is a pretty small cuff though, not gonna lie. Oh, but this is probably, sorry, my hands are a freaking wreck right now. They're just always a wreck. Oh, I have a ridiculous story for you guys. Since you really hate those. Yeah, I just wanted to feel this. See, like this, see how well this fits? That's nice, but this isn't, and this isn't a rib knit, by the way. So I would use something stretchy, really stretchy for these things. This is soft though. It's nicer than the stuff I used. And actually Libby gave me this fabric, and so I was thrilled that I had this little piece of brown fabric to use for this because I did not know how I was going to finish this thing. And I'm going to donate it, so it's going to a good home. Yeah, you're busy, Aisha. Shasha, Aisha. That's a mouthful, by the way. Okay, I'm going to put, oh, I know what I can do. Just flip it like this. Wink. Okay, so my ridiculous story. So the other day, when was this? I think this was on Monday. Yes, because I was here yesterday. Okay, so Monday, me and my husband, he was working at home. It was my day off, and we kept hearing this bam, bam, bam on the house. And the thing is, we have like flickers and woodpeckers. And the woodpeckers have been hanging out lately, and they usually don't like hang out. Like they come and then they go, you know? Like they don't really live on our property, but they do hang out there a lot. And I had seen him the night before hanging out in this snag. There's a snag just outside of our property line when the birds love, especially the woodpeckers. And they've been kind of playing and being loud, and I was like, this is so interesting. I never see him do this. And I didn't mention it to my husband, who's the birder. Well, then the next day, we were hearing this, you know, bam, bam, bam on the house. And I thought maybe it was hitting the gutter because it sounded like it was pecking on metal. And I kept going out there trying to find it. And then my husband came out and he was looking for it. And we were like, oh, it's the vent. We have metal vents in our roof eaves, right? And it turns out, I don't know how this happened, but a woodpecker got under our house, like under our house. And so our house is up off the ground, right? And then there's a crawl space underneath it. And around our whole house, there's a deck. We have a really big deck. You see it in all the photos. That goes around all the way around our house except for like 10 feet where the air conditioner is. And so, so when you look at underneath the deck around the house, places are closer to the ground than others because, you know, it's like leveling the house out. So, and we've had an issue with this thing because our cat would go under there, and then when we were like evacuating for a fire, he went under there and he wouldn't come out. And so I had it's a whole like crazy adventure story that my daughter, who's a slim little thing, had to crawl under there and like manhandle our cat, right? She got him out, right? But after that, we had her close the vents like she saw a dead rat and everything, like a skeleton and everything. The whole thing was really funny. Ooh, I'm trimming a little bit. So we had her close those vents. And so I do not know how, I do not know why, that there was a woodpecker under the house, like under our house. I don't understand it. And so it was at the vents, the little vents, pecking on the metal grate. So I crawled under the house and I tried to pull the grate and I couldn't pull the grate. And then we decided that, oh man, I gotta change my thread color. That we were gonna have to pull off one of the big crawl space grates and then lure it out. And that's what we did. But his buddies, though, had been hanging out on the property waiting for him, you know? So they knew something was up. They knew one of them was missing. And I don't know why they were hopping down around under the house and how he got under there. Oh, a snag is when a tree basically dies, but it's still stays upright, and then there's no branches or leaves on it. There's nothing living on it, and it's decomposing, and so it's kind of like a monument to the tree. It looks petrified, but it's not. And so birds love it because there's bugs and stuff like that trying to decay the tree and break it down, especially woodpeckers. Other birds of prey love perching on them and stuff. So. Oh, is that it? Is it maybe that it was a baby? Is it baby season? So yeah, my husband was trying everything to like, because it came back and it was like bam, bam, bam on the house. And we were like, dude, I crawled into the house and it opened up a grate for you. And then it finally did find it and leave. And the woodpeckers have been kind of gone now, so. I don't really know what it was thinking though. All right, I'm just gonna anchor all these little tails here. And then we can move on to the next project. All right, and then there's one at the waist. One of the crazy things I need to fix this week is my Charlie caftan, because in the laundry, the ties that are connected to that front little inset ripped it. And I fixed it once before, and then it really ripped it. It ripped it so bad that I have to make the inset a lot bigger now. Yeah, maybe that's it, Sydney. I think you're right. They're just dorky babies. Like, it's just nuts because, I mean, honestly, they do hang out on the ground sometimes because there's this one stone that we have on the lawn, like a huge rock, and there's a carved out bowl in it, like a naturally carved out bowl, and it fills with water and they come and drink from it. So here's my my brother-in-law's sling. So just in case you don't know, like in the guild, we had a free group. Rachel's created a free group. Anyone can create a group in there. And she wanted to do a sandhill sling sew along in the sandhill sling. This is it by Noodlehead. And so we did a Zoom and I sewed one, but I couldn't do this one because it was black. Apparently he's into Magic the Gathering, and this is the symbol. So can you even see it? And there's a little zipper here. I did the zipper version. And then there's my inside. And I ended up making his pocket with a piece of exposed elastic like this. So I just sewed it kind of like wrong side to right side and then flipped it up and top stitched it down. I thought that looked a little bit more interesting for him. And I made my mom one, and I made hers a purse version, which I'll post that soon, someday. I don't know when. Okay. we have, let me fix this backpack. I gotta fix some webbing on a backpack real quick. Yeah, it's a shame that that fabric's smelly. I totally agree. It's, maybe it won't be smelly to someone else. You know, like it's distracting to me though. It just smells like old synthetics. What is that feeling in my bobbin here? I'm just gonna. Just want to clean it out. It's been a little bit. When I change my bobbin, sorry, when I change my bobbin on camera a lot, I don't end up doing this part. And I used to do this every time I change my bobbin. Okay. Let me do the case too. I just felt like a little bit of a snag. There's this little tension spring at the bottom of my bobbin case. You see that bluish piece of metal? I'm so proud to say mine still has it. I haven't lost it yet. Because usually it's the first thing I lose, and I don't even know when I lose it. And if you've lost yours, if you're have an industrial machine and you lose your tension spring there, you can just put a piece of thin fabric there. It works. Okay, I'm gonna fix up, I just need a piece of webbing real quick. I think I have a scrap over here. Let's see. Oops. Looking through my webbing scraps. Oh yeah, here we go. Perfect. I think this even matches his backpack. Sorry, my necklace keeps hitting the microphone. It just disappeared. I know. You just gotta laugh about it. Like my mechanic never batted an eye at it when it was gone. And he would just take a little random piece of fabric, cut a hole in the middle, and then place it in there. That is the absolute perfect thing. Someone would mansplain me on my YouTube channel, by the way. Sorry, guys. It does happen. I have a video about using and maintaining your industrial machine, and I get so many guys, well, accounts with male presenting names telling me what I'm doing wrong with my industrial machine. I'm like, buzz off. I guarantee I've had it longer than you guys have. Okay, so this piece here looks like it lost its piece of elastic altogether. My husband thinks a little mouse. A little mouse ate it. So you got a cute little cordless vacuum that also smells. Oh, that's nice. You had a t-shirt that always smelled of coal. Yeah, the distracting part, maybe that's just me, but I have a really good sense of smell too. Okay. I just wanted to get it roughly as, look, it's exactly the same. It's just, he's had this backpack since before he met me. And I love that. I love that he doesn't always buy new gear just because it's old. I won't say that about his car, his preferences with cars though. He certainly is fine with Getting in the car. Okay. Where is it? Right here. Does this have the little tab on it? Yeah, so you see this right here? This is a really great way to prevent your strap from getting lost through your strap holder. I don't have a way to burn this, so we're gonna hem it like this first. Let's actually sew a little bit on my scrap fabric here. I got a lot going on over here. All right. Okay. What is all that thread there? Oh, okay. That's just my tail. Better be. He's going on an international trip this weekend and he wants his backpack. Can't remember why, but so let's see. This goes. All right, well, I'm also going to do this so that it doesn't come undone, just like the other one. Like that. Now I have my little tail. All right, and so that, like this. Okay. This will go like this. Oh, I hate threading it when it's like this. All right. All right, like this. All right, I'm gonna try and sew a seam and then top stitch it down. And this is why people don't get into making their own packs with the wrong equipment. All right, you have to secure webbing. It is notoriously weak. All right, let's hope that'll help him out. Okay, cool. We can take that home. All right, what do you guys want? Do you want? Oh, I'm sorry, is it me? I'm sorry. Thank you. I'll just do that. Now it's me, Malin. All right, so I'll show you the things I have. Okay, so my other two repairs are, this one's gonna be really involved. I might do this one tomorrow, but this is a Charlie caftan dress. And here is the inset right here. This dress is sitting against that brown sweatshirt in my bin, and now it has that smell, and it's like, All right, so I need to replace this inset. I'll do this tomorrow. I got all the pieces ready. I took out, did all the seam ripping. I've even repaired here. I like put some interfacing here to repair some of the rips, because like this is ripped all the way to here. So if you ever make this dress, this is one of my favorite dresses to wear. I haven't gotten to wear it all summer, and I've made it 3 times. The 2 I wear are out of rayon with a little inset with the gathers. The pleated one I did out of an e-cot, and it just doesn't hang right on me. But this one does. I did the top, I made it into a top, and it still didn't hang right on me. But these 2 are my 2 favorites, and one of the views with this dress has ties, and someone gave me a really great idea, like a really obvious idea of preventing those ties from getting hurt in the laundry. I can't remember who said what they said, but my washing machine or my dryer ripped the ties out of that little inset on this one. The other one, I didn't put the ties on there. I put this inset on the front and the back to give the back shaping. And so I didn't need the ties. So they got ripped off once. I fixed it. And this time it got ripped off really spectacularly, so that there's no way I could just sew it up and fix it. Like, it was bad. And so I need to just replace the whole inset, so I have all the pieces. So I'll do this tomorrow. So the other thing I have right here is I could do this. This is the Upton dress. And the V also got ripped in the laundry right here. See that? And this is, I fully lined the bodice. I don't remember what the Upton you do. I even put, later on I put Velcro for the straps, a little piece of ribbon here to hold my bra straps. I sewed that in after. Where the straps are on the Upton are not where my bra straps are, so I had to pull my straps over. So I've got this prepared, so maybe I'll do this next. I'll just decide for you. The other thing I have is a whole ironing board cover, and then I have the bags. So maybe after this I'll sew some bags. I think I'm going to use red thread. This is really the biggest drag of doing any repairs, right? Is all the thread you have to find and thread changes. I think this will work. I like this dress a lot, and I haven't gotten to wear it since I discovered this rip. It's like getting new clothes, you know? I think the one thing that's going to have to make it into the pile, though, is that Azor's dress. I'm going to need to have to rip that whole yoke off and replace it because of that interfacing, you know? All right, so I already popped open the waist here. Just for the record, I hand sewed this. I am not immune to hand sewing. Make this a little less bright. Do that. Okay. So I think this is just gonna suddenly be a little more deep of a V. Oh, we need to, oh, I didn't understitch this. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, awesome for me now. But I am a little worried about it being symmetrical. So let's look at this. Let's see how much I can pull out here. Do you, Brenda? I did a stream, I think it was this year, where I copied my ironing board cover and I cut and sewed it. And it's all in one stream. I'm trying to think. If you go to my website, soso.live, if you just put an ironing board cover, there'll be a link directly to it there. And I'm just using the same exact one because I cut two at the time because I have two ironing boards. I have to admit, it was one of the most satisfying projects I've done in a long time because I needed that cover so badly, and it just felt like a new lease on life, you know? Yeah, right, Malin? Exactly. All right, so here we have this V. And I think that, I'm going to sew it first, and then I'm going to interface it. And the reason I'm going to do that is once I interface it, I'm not going to be able to see where that rip is, you know? So let's Okay, one of the things I can do is find the center again. So let's stack these darts right here. How many of you have made the Upton dress? Yeah, you're welcome. That stream's nice because I did all of it in one go, and you can put it on like 1.5 speed. But I also think in that stream, in the description, there are links to free ironing board cover patterns. So if you don't want to draft your own, you could use one of those. All right. I just recovered mine. And admittedly, my cover is a little shallow at the shoulders of the ironing board, so I noted that for the next time. But it'll be a few years before I make another one. All right, so we're gonna try and find the center here. I don't want to rip it more, you know. I'm trying to find another identifier so I can, I mean, I could do the bust starts. We'll just hope I sewed them symmetrically. This is the Brussels washer linen, by the way. I sewed it for a Hearts fabric project, and I instantly was like, okay, this stuff's great. Because it's not 100% linen, and you really don't have to iron it much out of the laundry, which is really nice. You've made, yeah, okay. You've made one, you've made 3, you may make another one. Yeah, so that, I was thinking about it because they have the, Cashmere has the like, Choose Your Own Adventure version now. You can do so much with this pattern. I'm just finding the center front fold. Sorry, it's taking me a while, but it's important. So I'm just smoothing out the fabric here. This way I can keep that V centered. You know what I mean, jelly beans? Oh, that might be a good emote. I could make a jelly bean. I'm trying to think of good emotes. So the next one I'm drawing is a sewing experiment. Because we do that a lot around here. At least I do. All right. So let's get this nice and flat. Nice and relaxed. Like this. Anyone else keeping up with the Jen Stearns series on the top down center out pants? I missed one last week, but I watched it this week. Thought it was pretty good. All right, so we're gonna go, I'm gonna line this up. Okay. Let's see here. Definitely got a bit deeper, didn't it? All right, let's do this. I'm gonna blend it in. I mean, do I want to go that deep? I don't have to go that deep. Maybe I'll go a little shallower. But not much. I want to stay away from that rip. I'm going to pivot on that center line there. Actually, with the V, I'm going to do 1 stitch across. That's my tip. It's not a slit, it's a V, so hopefully it'll have the same kind of help when you do that that stitch across. All right. I feel like that's a little off center, so I'm going to work on it a little bit more. Right here. One more. I'm going to make it this single stitch really small and then blend it in. All right. Barbara, how's it going? Not really, Mullen. You know, originally it started out as like a review, and now I feel like it's a review of the process. Like we're going to review this process, not a opinion review, the other kind of review. Yeah, she is. Yeah, so yeah, it's been pretty good. I think if you're really, really interested in it and you're kind of glued to the content, it's going to have some good tidbits. And I think it's more like she's like looking at it like, does it do this? Do you have to do this? What's happening when you're selecting this? What happens if you do it the other way? Not in the extremely wordy way I would, as far as like, not that I do extraneous words, but I'm definitely going to be like really, really, I don't know how you would explain how I describe things. Like she takes one little part of it and she explains it for, 10 to 15 minutes, where I'm going to do the entire thing in 25 minutes. You know what I mean? So, all right, so I'm not going to trim this. Well, I am going to trim this back. Actually, I'm just going to trim this off. I won't need to interface it. This V should have gotten some interfacing. This may not have happened. So let's go put some interfacing on it, right? Let me put the iron cam on for you. Let me get a little patch of interfacing. I should keep this over here, really. Yeah, I mean, obviously I really like the last one because at the very end she says what I've been saying since the beginning. Because there's been a lot of people saying you can't scoop using that method. And I do feel like that that kind of thinking has been being evaluated more. And from the beginning, we've all been saying, but you are scooping the crotch. If you select a different size, you may not be actively going like this. But if you select the size 14 crotch, but you made a size 10 everywhere else, you've scooped your crotch. So that was always kind of my thing. Like, I haven't tried it, and just because I was highly discouraged to try it by some people in that community. And then, but I always thought like, well, I do want to try it. I think it's intriguing, And I'm just really glad. I think Jen is the perfect voice for it. She is the voice of reason for it. It's great. You know what? I'm going to use my little pinking shears for this. I'm going to do the Angela Wolf, the Angela Wolf tip. So I'm just going to pink this edge here with my pinking blade. That way when I iron it on, supposedly it'll blend in better. Like this. That's kind of a big chunk though, huh? Can we get this a little closer? Maybe like that? Yeah. Yeah. It's very asymmetrical, isn't it? Okay. Wait, wait, wait. Ooh, almost ironed that on upside down. Okay. I'm just going to put this over my little rip here. Yeah, I mean, I should, that's exactly what I was saying all summer. Don't focus on fitting adjustments that are labeled. It doesn't, I mean, if you know, oh, I always need this fitting adjustment, do it. That's great. My point is, you don't have to fall into one of those labels in order to get the fit adjustment you need. So if you're someone who's like, I've never been able to get pants to fit, and maybe it's because you haven't found the fit adjustment that works for you, you don't need to. You don't need to. You just drape the pants to fit you. And I know that sounds really simple. I'm not trying to oversimplify it or say it's not hard. It is hard to fit pants, and it is work. And I think that's my biggest like beef with anything that's going to say, here's the easier, faster way to do something. Oh, that's interesting. I have to watch her series. I really want to. Okay. I think that this is ready. I love that she compares it. That sounds great. What a smart thing to do. Okay. You know, I didn't understitch this for some reason. I'm not going to now either because I really can't get in there, but let's press this. Yeah, I think whatever method you use, if it works for you, that's the method to use. And I think at the end of the day, top down, center out uses a lot of the exact same methods all fitting methods use. It isn't, in my opinion, it's not different, except the fact that it's presented in a way that makes it really, really accessible, and that's awesome. Okay, look at it. It doesn't look like it ever happened. Woo woo. I won't put you through the painful process of watching me hand sew, but that's all I need to do now is just hand sew this little waist thing right here. That turned out pretty good. Maybe you'll see me wearing this tomorrow. Yeah, exactly, Terry. Yeah, I know. Okay. I think, so let's see. I doubt there's anybody here from my chicken boots days. But here, let me show you. I have, oh, I'm gonna fall over doing this. Okay. Yeah, right, Mullen, exactly. I love that because that's what I was doing behind the scenes during my whole pants fitting thing was I would do certain adjustments because I've seen so many kooky pant adjustments that I'm like, but that's going to do this to the pant. It's going to do that you wanted, but it's also going to do this other thing. And so I would do the change and then compare it to the pant and see what actually happened. So why sit there and do, I'm going to slice here, slice down to here, slice down to here. I'm going to overlap here and I'm going to pull it this way. When you could just do that to the sides and the outer, you don't need to do all the slicing and dicing, which is a little intimidating for people, you know. Okay, so this is my accordion. I haven't looked at my accordions in a few years. I don't use them regularly, but this is what they do. They hold your circular needles. And what's great about this is that they are really easy to grab. You know, you can put more than one in a pocket. And what I did was I would put the same, what would I do? Okay, I would put drastically different size needles in the same pocket, but the same length. So these are all my 16-inch long needles right here, but I would put the 3s and the 7s in this pocket so I could feel the difference. All right. I'm not going to sew accordions today, but I have a bunch. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Heidi. Yeah, exactly, Aisha. All right, so I have clear wristlets to sew. This is a charm keeper, by the way. And so the charm keeper was this little like small project bag. I have 140 of these cut out. Nobody is gonna buy 140 of this bag. So I don't know what to do with the fabric because they're all drilled for the strap, the outer piece. So this is my one project on the needles still. It's almost done. It's huge. It's almost done. I should just finish it. Oh man, it fits a lot in there just for this, you know. Not to mention my needles are in this project. So I have clear wristlets ready to sew, and I have double doubles. The double doubles are actually further along. So maybe I'll sew those, actually. Clear wristlets are close, but they're just cut. These are the double doubles. Save it for finish it February. Oh, my whatever it is, the scarf. Maybe. I just don't wear scarves, so I think there hasn't been that inclination to finish it. I just wanted to knit that particular pattern. I like her patterns. They're always really clever. And I had all these different skeins of yarn from a couple of kits that someone dyed for like one of our limited edition thingies. And that shawl was perfect for that. So that's what it's from. And it ended up being like a photo prop so many times in things that it almost became a joke, like, well, maybe I shouldn't finish it because I could use it as a photo prop. Yeah, I really should, Aisha. I really want to knit my sweater. Or that March top, you know, the one I've been embroidering. What's going on with this bobbin? Look at this right here. Random thread, waiting to cause trouble. Do you have an accordion, Heidi? I like seeing, like, when people have one, they know. What is this? This is Charm Keeper, right? This is Charm Keeper. This is, and these are Charm Keepers. Yeah, wait. Let's get this out of the way here. I think people want these in some ways, but I think they're going to be disappointed that I don't really have a whole lot of new fabrics or anything, because that's not what I do anymore. That's not what I do anymore. Wham. It's not going to work out. There we go. I have a project sitting over here. So let's see. I have these double doubles that are all Look at these. All the tops are prepped. Oh man, these aren't even bound. I'm gonna be cutting my... This is so many bindings. All right, let's get these 3. I know I have these bindings right now. Let's get these 3 out and get you out. And I just want to sew this one because it has this huge bird. Well, can't really tell though. Anyway, weird fabrics. So these are from when we sewed them on the floor. Your circulars are out of control. No, that's not good. Okay, I need this one. And this one. And what was the other one I saw? Oh. This one. And I don't see the other one, so it's okay. Still have some of these bindings, thankfully. You have double doubles? Nice. These are a very eclectic assortment of double doubles. So they hopefully will be, it's going to be a lot of photography though. That's my only problem with having all these different fabrics. So, why is this? Oh, it's because it's vinyl. I haven't sewn vinyl in a while. I haven't sewn a double double in a while. Oof, come on. It's like, wait a minute. I don't want to sew vinyl. You don't make me do that anymore. This machine never really had to though. I'm gonna do some kits of the double double, the Charm Keeper, and the Clear Slit. That's what it is. Oh, yeah. That's a good way to do it. I would sometimes get those requests to do them with, okay, I already made my first mistake. So when we would sew these, we wouldn't turn it inside out to do this. We would actually, well, I'll show you on the next one, because so then you wouldn't have to turn this right side out. We really tried to prevent doing this right here. So you had to sew it in this kind of clever way and bend up the short ends so that you wouldn't have to do it. It just saved our hands, you know, stuff like that. But I would get people requesting doing the wall hanging style of circular needle holding. And I made one, and it actually, weirdly, it came out amazing. And I was like, oh, this thing worked great. This was actually not too bad to sew. It was a lot of elastic, but that's very affordable, just harder to manage when you're sewing it. And I would get occasional requests for that. But my problem was it made your needles they look like a hot mess, you know? So I never went forward with it. This machine has a bigger ridge right here. If you ever get a machine and you get to be a part of the process, ask them to put this flush. I mean, the thing is, I can open this door, but I don't need to. I couldn't change the bobbin like that. So I would say ask for it to be sunk down a little deeper. The ridge causes me sewing issues. Oh yeah, Amy, that's awesome. Okay. This is sewn very similar to the zip double, the bottom of the bag is. So I'm hoping that the people that have sewn a zip double will probably be up for making a double. These were the things that Rayanne would sew though, not me. And she was so smooth at this, like look at me, I'm like totally struggling. There we go. This is also not a step we could use with our binding machine. The binding machine, we could have, but it would have left, like it would have left this little like finished edge of a tail of binding at each end, you know? And then you would have had to finish that little tail end. And so if this were factory, or not factory made, I'm sorry, made like mass production, they would just fold it, like fold that little tail back and stitch it down, but I just never wanted to do that. And neither did Rayanne. Like I ran it by her a few times when we would look at things like cost cutting. I would say, well, here's the options that I know of. What do you think? And you know, we would play around with it. This one goes with this one, right? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, right? I know, Terry, me too. I love that you've thought about it too, though. Exactly. Okay, so this is the center. That's the center. This used to have a notch on it, I think, right? I don't remember. Pretty sure. One thing's for certain, my serger looked kind of meh on some of these things. I was looking everywhere for, well, for something else actually. Someone was looking for, oh, what were they looking for? Yeah, what was that? And I realized that I somewhere along the line got rid of all of my chicken boots labels, which kind of surprised me. Because at first I just put them in a bin. I put everything that was like branded stuff, I just hid it away in a bin. I didn't want to see it, you know? And I thought I'm pretty sure I put all the labels. I had ordered labels not too long before I closed Chicken Boots, so I had like thousands. And then I don't think she used a notch, but why did what was I looking for? I can't remember. I couldn't find them, so I probably got rid of them. The handle goes on the side, right? Anyone have one of these? I don't actually have a double. This wasn't the bag I used. Sometimes it is okay to design things for your customers, even if it's not something you would use. And there's a lot of like people have really strong feelings about that sometimes. If you are someone who's selling products that you've designed and made, you can feel like it's got to always be your aesthetic. It's always got to be your something you love and your baby, right? But the thing is, like, you got to make money and you got to keep the lights on. And I think also that there's too much ego when someone's going to say, oh, only products I like using are good enough. That's not true, because we all craft really differently. And so that's the way I look at it. We all craft differently, right? And we like to organize our stuff very, very differently from one another. So when someone comes in and says, well, you don't do it the way I do it, you know, that's wrong. You know, it's just like, you know, someone organizing their needles in a box and someone doing it in a binder and someone doing it in a bag. Like, you, at the end of the day, you could give someone a product that supposedly works really, really well, but just doesn't speak to them and they don't like using it, right? And so that was where I was like, okay, people really want clear bags. And so I made this one and a bunch of others. And it kind of became a really big part of our business. And people loved them. And so I didn't think anything was wrong with that. I designed it in a way that, I know it's a really kooky looking bag, but it's highly functional. And that right there, that is me, you know, the highly functional part. So that whole thing of people being like, I just can't continue to do my product line because it's not going to reflect my personal aesthetic or whatever. I get that in some level, but at the end of the day, that kind of insults some of your customers. So this one has a pocket on the inside, so you can see what's in the pocket, but nothing's going to fall out, right? And so that's a very functional thing. And the other thing is you can cinch it shut, right, like this. You can cinch it shut, and it has a handle at the top. That, and it's called a double because it is 4 times the size of a clear wristlet. Such a weird thing, but I'm a terrible product namer at the end of the day, and we all knew that. I think everybody would agree that. Terrible at naming products. Rand would say, don't you dare name something that begins with a P, the letter P. No more letter P things. And I got it. Understood. Hey, Michelle, how's it going? Okay, so we're going to put the pocket on first. I should have ironed this. One thing you miss about California is a double-double. Is that what they're called at In-N-Out? That's funny. That sounds kind of good, to be honest. This is one way to immortalize wrinkles. I know I'm triggering someone in the chat. I added a channel memberships, Michelle, so I finally have emotes. The dream come true. I've always wanted to have emotes, but I never did it because I was just like, ugh, I don't want to sell one more thing. All right, so this is how we would do let's see, how would we do? So when we didn't want to turn this inside out, we would put it together like this, and we would sew it like this, right? So then see, it's still right side out, but you have this inside out edge poking out the top. Clever, right? It took us a while to figure that out. And then that way you only have to pull this little edge out, and then you do the same with the bottom. The bottom is a little trickier, and some vinyls were better than others. Like this one was never that great at doing this part. And I think actually we would do this one first. Okay. Yeah, see, this isn't how this would go. I'm sure I'll figure it out by the time I'm done sewing these. But it is nice not having to turn it right side out. I'm just matching the binding when I can to pieces that are already sewn. This one had this one on it. Oh yeah, she would turn and do it this way. Do both at the same time. Then she would bind it. It's that little corner though. That's gonna show if I don't. You close it. Is anyone here busy making product to sell for the holiday season? Oh my goodness, Ray is my first channel member. You did not have to do that, Ray. You're already supporting me in the guild. Ooh, and hi, Ray. How's it going? Yeah, how did it work, Ray? And why didn't I get an alert noise? Did you guys get something on the screen? Grilled onions, lettuce, tomato. Oof, that sounds kind of good. Nothing came on the screen, huh? We gotta fix that. You know? It should be next to the subscribe button. The Hallie jumpsuit yet? No, not that I know of. But I saw it pinned several times in the Pinterest board for new patterns to review, which is this Friday. So I definitely had some opinions when I saw those patterns. Riffraff Ray. Riffraff Ray, welcome. Welcome to Get the Emotes. That's the name of that level. I made you all give me all those really great puns, and then I just called it Get the Emotes. Ooh, look at your star. Okay, and so when you go to type in chat now, Ray, if you select the emojis, you'll see the star. Click the star and you'll see your emotes. And you have 3 right now. So there is, like if I'm seam ripping, there's the rip it one. Part result, I clicked on something. Wait, what's Rocky Horror? Are there Rocky Horror emotes right now? There's the rip it. Here, I'll show you. These are my emotes. I click the little smiley face. This is the rip it one. This is when I go on a tangent. And this is love. I'm going to do experiment. And then I want your guys' ideas. I'm having fun designing them. They're fun. And they're actually really easy to design. And I kind of wish that that was my job now, is designing. You clicked on something and nothing happened. Did you click the join button? You're just trying to click on Loki. Okay, there's the... So I just don't think this whole emote thing is a big deal to people who watch sewing live streams. They just are not into this whole thing. Well, this is how I did it. We just folded the bag like this, and then I stuck it in here and lined it up there. That's how I did it. Oh, I'm so awkward sewing these. God. It must be painful to watch for you guys. Sorry. It was a chat prompt. Really? So something popped up in chat? Like to encourage you guys? Oh, interesting. I don't see that. What am I doing here? Why does this feel funny? Well, there we go. I made the threshold, I think $1.99 to a bit more. Don't do that, Ray. You don't have to do that. You're not going to get anything. It's just for people who like, oh, I don't want to join anything like a guild. I'll send this gal a couple bucks a month. She helps me out in a sewing tight spot. I just saw this guy just made the most, he has the most subscriptions like this, like channel memberships, but in the Twitch version. He just hit over 90,000 of them. He's making like news. I'm like, oh my gosh. He's like the top English speaking streamer for subs. It's nuts. She's trying everything out. I'm trying everything out. Well, the thing is, like, I mentioned this recently, is that YouTube gave me an incentive to do it. And so I finally was like, fine, I'll try it out. As someone who loves live streaming, I've always wanted my own emotes. And I think that that's kind of a fun thing. And it's a way to like share in inside jokes and things like that. And instead of being like typing exclamation point drink in the chat, you can type just the emote, rip it, you know? So gifts are free memberships for a month. What do you mean by that? I have a little tuck. I've never gotten a tuck. It wasn't allowed gifts prompt. I don't need gifts. Oh, got it. Right, I didn't see her thing. Yeah. Oh, Aisha, you became one too? Oh, yeah, you did. Thanks. Yeah, so the gifts, that's the thing is like, that's why I can't do this. Like what my whole plan was, I'm just going to make these really cheap, right? So, because I really want the emotes. And then I'm going to gift all of my Journeyist and Master Group members. I'm going to gift them membership. Ray! Hey, Ray. I mean, if this stops you from donating, I am all for this. Okay, so next to my subscribe button, Barbara, it should say join. That's where you do it. So, I wanted to gift them to all the Journeyist and Master Guild things and members. And the thing is, like, first of all, I would have to know every single one of their YouTube names. Second of all, they would all have to allow gifts. Third of all, I would have to renew it every single month. And I just can't do that. It's too much work. Ray's name shows up as green too, which is really fun. Thanks, you guys. This is really fun for me. I've always wanted them. There's definitely streamers I subscribe to for emotes because they're fun. It isn't next to subscribe. So on mobile, I can see what it looks like on my phone, but I don't know if I'll see it, to be honest. Yeah, it may not be available on mobile, to be honest. I don't know. Look at this tuck I have. Oof. That would have never flown in the Chicken Boots days. It's just going to get an extra discount. And then I'll get rid of those wrinkles in a very clever way later on. Okay, 2 down. Oh my God. Oh. Oh, the $sign. That just, for me, says super sticker and super chat, but maybe because I am by default a member. Don't worry about it, Barbara. You're already a master member. It is, are you on mobile, Aisha, or are you on a desktop? You like this, Heidi? This is really, wait, does this one go with this one or this one? What goes with this one? This one? I think so. Oh yeah, because that goes with that one. Well, these are definitely not our original fabric choices. These were definitely, oh yeah, so we did this one first, but I know we didn't, maybe we did that. Maybe we just did this one inside out and then flipped it. Deja vu much? This does feel a little bit deja vu-y. What is that noise back here? Something is it just this? Yeah, Sasha, if you're not on mobile, it's just next to my subscribe button. Thankfully, Rayanne loved sewing these, and she was really good at it. It's also on mobile. Oh, okay. I love seeing your green names and your little star. Okay, so please feel free to give me feedback. Like, I can make that star into something custom. I just couldn't come up with anything. The star is a default. Oh, I have a different binding for this one. Right here, right here, right here. Michelle, thank you. Are you Michelle's son, Michelle? From Twitch. Oh, okay, because I don't have that option on my computer, but I'm also not on mobile. UV says a new cart, and I'm rebel from that. Let's see. I don't think so. For me. I'm logged in though. Oh, you aren't? Okay, okay. I didn't think so, but I just like, because you're being so helpful with this, I'm like, oh, this is definitely someone who watches streams, and there's a gal named Michelle's son. She's mostly a Twitch stream watcher. It looks like I can now stream on Twitch and YouTube without being penalized anymore. But I'm not sure I want to manage 2 chats again. Yeah, Michelle says it's under that $sign, but I'm not sure. Oh, so both sides. Stream watcher. Right? Lately, Twitch has been kind of like imploding. There's been all this drama. It's kind of interesting. So is no one here like are you a small business and you're like furiously sewing right now, getting ready for the busy season? thinking about you. I know how hard that is. It's a lot of work. You're like trying to decide, what do I think people will want? Oh, okay. Thanks, Aisha. Oh my gosh, I've never done that before. Oh, thankfully that wasn't detrimental. Whoa. My binding kind of pushed the petal over a little bit. It's under, oh, okay, great. Thank you. Okay. Where's my top? What's the top for this? It's the chicken wire, right? Oh, here it is, right here. So the other thing that we're working on in the guild is that we're going to do a shirt, the master group and the journeys groups have skill building sessions every month. I know you hear me talk about those a lot, but now is a really great time to join because you get a month free and you'd pretty much get the button down sew along, you know? And that's only through the end of the year because I'm going to change the programs up so you can get all of the skill building sessions. You can slurp them all up. Right. What did you say? Interfunment? She's a rebel. What are we going to do with her? Oh, thanks, Terry. Yeah, so this month, in October, it's all going to be about matching patterns. I'm going to do one-way and two-way prints, motifs, plaids, stripes, things like that. It'll be perfect for the button-down sew along, too. And you can sew whatever button-down you want. Gotcha. No one's going to stop her. Exactly. Does anyone have lots of holiday projects you plan on making? Are you already thinking about that? Well, it's probably Aisha because you are now a member. Or you say you found it under something. I imagine too, like different phones are going to be different. And if you're in the app versus on the web, watching YouTube, I'll figure it out. I obviously am not very like glued to it because I'm not all prepared for it. Like I said, it was a more personal fun thing. They incentivized me to do it, so I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And we'll see if the incentivization is actually happens. That's why I'm like, you know, but is your mantle still on spring summer? Do you do a spooky one? I gotta drag out my my skeleton, put him out in the front yard. I was feeling like it was getting late to do that, and then I realized it's not even October. I'm kind of ready for Halloween candy, though. My husband has had a sweet tooth lately, and it's really throwing me off. He even ate half, or no, not half. He did not eat half. He ate a bite of a candy bar, half, that I had in the fridge, just sitting there, like a half of one. He took a bite of it, and I was like, what the heck? He doesn't usually have a sweet tooth. I'm here for it, you know? Anytime he has a sweet tooth, I'm like, yeah. Look how mashed this thing is. Terry, you should. You deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. Okay, I'm going to sew this one here. I need a binding though. Oh, I have this one. That'll work. I've got that one still. Ooh, it's a minefield in here. 3 slings, 2 backpacks, 4 pairs of PJs. Whew. You better get on it. Rachel was all apologetic about like, she's like, oh, I feel like I just like caused you so much work by creating the Sandhill sling, and now we have the so long, now we have a zoom. And I was like, this is awesome. Because while I wasn't like gearing up to do that, and it was a little spontaneous, I ended up getting 2 gifts out of the way without even feeling it. It was perfect. I was thrilled. My big deal is 3 nights near freezing and filling up the garage every night and back out in the AM. Filling it up? I don't understand. Frost warning last night. Oof. I'm sitting here getting sweaty. Oh, I do have apparently good news. They replaced the air conditioning here. I'm like, thanks for doing that when it's 70 degrees. I mean, I am really thankful, but at the same time, I'm like, what's it gonna take, you know? I haven't gotten to use it at all, but I am getting kind of hot right now. Should make sure it's on. Oh, garage sale. Maybe that's what she meant, yeah. Oh, with plans. Oh, okay, okay. We are reading Ray's mind. We're required to. This kind of binding, perfect for the binding attachment. This would have gone through the binding attachment machine. I finally had to give up on a plant this weekend, which kind of made me sad. But I did move my plant bench, my potting bench, to the house. And that's been actually really good. It was over by the garage. Oh, yours didn't survive summer. I lost a few this summer too, during that little heat wave. It is going to be a production line thing there. Do you think, Fiona, do you like the cutting part? How many of you like the cutting part? I know some people hate the cutting part of sewing. I used to be that way too. I totally get it. I totally understand. So my question is like, if you like or don't like the cutting part, but are you going to cut all of that out at one time? Or are you going to kind of reward yourself like, okay, I'm going to cut out all the PJs, sew those. Cut all the backpacks, sew those. Oh, maybe, Shasha, that could be it. Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, don't worry about it. I don't want to distract you from just doing that. You know, it's no big deal. Okay. Oh, I wonder if I could do this. Let's see. No. We'll see. In the shim mode. My back is really sore today too. I was standing at my table there yesterday, and I think I was honestly, like, my posture wasn't the greatest. I thought you got some citrus trees last year. Wasn't that you? I love how I'm keeping track of y'all's plants and stuff. I had a succulent last year do really bad on the deck in the winter because of the cold. So I got to pull that in. It was like on the edge of the deck, you know, and like not against the house. Helps when it's against the house. Oh, interesting, Michelle. Wow. That is a really, like an investment in time, you know? Like, that's a... You know how they'll show in like a movie, they're like, we'll grow vegetables, and like a month later they're eating something? I'm like, that's not really how that works. And you know, it's usually like zucchini. So, oh, I feel for them. Oh, okay, Fiona. That makes sense. And I'm not surprised people are doing that at all. I need a cuter mouse. That thing's so ugly, isn't it? I wonder what they're growing mostly. Because if they're growing things like maybe potatoes, that would keep, and apples, you know, on trees, or trees, but they keep, there are a lot of things that can keep. Zucchini, the gift that keeps on driving you nuts. It keeps on surprising you when you really think you found them all. Yeah, this was a really mild summer here, but it was pretty amazing. I got to finally, like, we had all that rain recently, and we have a lot of clay soil. It was really hard. So I was able to finally dig into this bed next to that weird little brick path I put in. You know, I'm not very good at that kind of stuff, but I wanted that little path so that we could walk along this muddy area when it's, you know, rains the 4 times it rains. And so then along that, I was going to put some of these succulents my mom gave me. And I finally actually got to plant those. So it's nice to have all those out of pots, and they all made it. Sydney, you got to be joking. I'm not one to shame anybody for anything around here, but I don't believe you. That's how I feel about echinacea or coneflower. I finally had my very first coneflower ever. I've tried growing that so many times and in different regions. I got one, but it is a perennial, so it'll come back. You've never had a zucchini? What? You guys are just not seeing the zucchini. They're literally camouflaged in there, and the size of your house, I guarantee it. So now my next step now is I have these beds. I asked for my birthday for birdies, and it's like a bed, just a garden bed. You can put up metal. It looks like a watering trough. I'm gonna put those up next. That's my next thing. My goal is to have them plantable for spring. I used to, and I still am. I'm one of those people that I'm like, I want to do this right now, and then I, you know, go all in. Right? We all do this, right? And I'm not like that as much anymore because I've done that for other projects. I'm getting to do that project I started off doing 2 months ago. I finally get to do it. I needed to trim this down, way down. Oof. Oof. See, now you can put your little rip it emote in the chat while I'm doing this. Gardening is a good family project. My husband's really good at maintaining the garden. I'm not that great. I'm really good at setting it all up, planning it, doing all the like heavy work, and then he's so good going every night, checking everything. Oh, really, Aisha? That would be really cool. I would love it if the birds reseeded those. Oh, Michael got a fox on our trail cam last night, and it was carrying something kind of big in its mouth. He's going to put it on the computer to see what it is because we can't really tell what it's carrying. It's such a weird shape. It looks like a bundle of leaves and sticks. And I'm wondering if it's maybe a baby or, you know, food. Yeah, I find that too, Michelle, especially for fruit trees. You'll get a really good fruit tree season, and then the next year it'll be just like kind of underwhelming. And I find that's very common. Oh yeah, the goldfinches do, yeah, they do love them. We have lots of those too. Okay, let's get rid of this. That was just really wide seam allowance. There, yeah, the little red hen. You got to grow what you like. So, you know, that's how I kind of got Sydney for a while. I was just like, you know, I just don't want to manage vegetables. Like I shouldn't be planting things I'm not very good at managing. Even though my husband is, I shouldn't expect him to do it, right? Because I wouldn't want him to expect me to do it. So I just started planting my beds with things that were more permanent. Oh, really, Michelle? I wonder why that is. My mom is trying to get rid of all of her roses to me, and we have, you know, 5 acres, so I'm like, I'll put them somewhere. I don't really want roses. Usually I'm only planting natives, but, you know, I'll help her out with it just because she wants to do something. Yeah, I think so too, Aisha. When we moved into the place that had the apple orchard, there was a cherry tree in that yard, and it had the biggest year it ever had when we lived there, and it put out like 30 pounds of cherries, and we were like, oh, we hit the mother load. It never did that again. Every year we'd be like, please, just a few. No. Okay, so click the little emoji symbol when you want to go to type in chat, Ray. Okay. And now, do you see the star, the one that looks like the same one next to your name? Click that. That's your tab. It's like a tab, and those are your emoji. Yeah, you guys haven't used your emoji yet. Gosh, I wish Rayanne was doing this. Wah. Your figs are coming in? That's cool. We have wild figs. I think we do have one fig tree. I think figs are really cool, but I just really don't need very many. Yeah. I would really like our persimmon tree. Persimmons and pomegranates grow really well around here. We have a pomegranate tree. Again, don't really care. Yay! Oh, this makes me feel so good to see my emotes in chat. I know it's so silly, you guys, but it really does. Like when I set out to stream 4 years ago, I just was like, I just want to meet other sewists and kind of sew along with them and help them. And I admired so many like streams that had helped me get through things and do things. I just loved that kind of real-time interaction and being able to be anonymous and be able to say, hi, excuse me, can you tell me how to do this? And then they would, you know. And then the fact that when I started, I was like, well, it'd be so cool to be one of those streamers with emotes. That'll probably never happen for me. And then when I was originally like unlocked it, I was just like, I had Patreon. I didn't want to ask people, but then I'm like, I really want emotes, so pretty cool. Yeah, that's awesome. pomegranates and persimmons. Yeah, people sell them here. It's like avocados. Well, I guess that's a kind of a cool thing too, but people just will have a box out in front of their house. They're not for free though. Yeah, they're definitely something you want to sell. Hey Jan, how's it going? You got a bumper crop of cherries 4 years ago. So maybe it was the frost. That might be what it was, Terry, because we did live somewhere where that was possible. And honestly, a stone fruit tree there wasn't really the best place for a stone fruit tree. We just got lucky, I think, that first year. Where we live now, this is where stone fruit's grown. Cherry, all the good stuff, man. Cherries, peaches, apricots, almonds, walnuts. You been lurking? Oh, I need a lurk emote. Oh, yeah. I've gotten avocados that don't have flavor, and that is not okay. Those watery ones? Yeah. I'm sorry, Michelle. What state are you in, Michelle? You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. People can make fun of California all they want, but we're eating really good out here. Yeah, those watery ones. Oof. We've been finding this place that has a bag of them, and it's like, I want to say it's like $5 to $7 for a whole bag of them, and they're tiny, like they're like an actual serving size. Oh, you're in Iowa now. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm from SoCal, exactly, where avocados really thrive. And we were kind of like, well, this is kind of a risk, like to buy these cheap avocados, but they weren't very ripe, and they've been the best. Yeah, exactly, Margie. And yeah. And you can't tell. Like, I can't tell. Like, I'm not very good at all the things on an avocado to tell me. Like, on watermelon, I'm your gal. I can tell you exactly what to pick. I think I just got my last one yesterday for the season. I'm sad. This one's okay. I think on camera it looks kind of funny. But this does have kind of this purpley pink. These are weird. Let's do, I want to do this rainbowy one over here. Where is it? I would like to do this one. This one's actually kind of cool, the black, white, red. I'm going to do all these onesie, twosie ones. And then all the others are going to be a kit. That's my plan. Here's a gardening tool one. I got to be careful. I can't rearrange these very much because I spent so much time matching them all up. This is actually a nice one too. It's kind of like a pale aqua. See? Yeah. Diner food is pretty awesome. This one's kind of cool too. Haas. Barbara! Okay, I really need to name these levels. Haas and what is the other one? Those are fun too. I know, the YouTube does have some really funny ones, don't they? I think I'm going to sew this one. Well, I'm sewing all of these eventually. This one's fun. And this one. And this one next. Let's see. I have all three of those bindings, actually. Wait, I have a blue stripe. Nope. maybe. Pink stripe. What is that over there? A black and white one. Black and white. Maybe this one here. I'm at the big wall of binding. No. No, none of these go. I mean, this one is okay. Let's bring it over. I'm doing it at the wall there. Okay, yeah, so Barbara, when you go to type in chat, you see that little star by your name? When you go to type in chat, select the emote, little happy face, and then the star, and then you'll see your emotes. It's like a little tab. That's not too hard to find. This one doesn't work. Okay. I don't know about that. It's always harder than you think it's going to be. Okay, this one's for you, I think. Shoot. Well, maybe I will just use this stripe for this one here. Actually, I'll use one of my bindings, this one here. This works for both of these. Okay. The binding lady. Ooh, Barbara, you are. Yeah. I'm collecting my tape too. Oh, interesting, Margie. We have a volunteer peach tree. It did great the last couple of years. This year, not so much. And so I feel like I really got to do something about it, you know, but it is a volunteer. So it's in this really weird spot. It grew from a peach pit from the compost bin. We have 2 of them actually, which is so strange because I'm always quick to tell people don't ever use your seeds from produce that you buy at the grocery store. It most likely will be a waste of effort because it'll be either sterile or a hybrid. And it won't produce the same fruit. If you want to be able to save seed from something and then plant it and grow it, you have to use heirlooms for sure. And I'm not obviously an expert in this. I'm sure there's people that know more about this, but you just don't want any genetically modified seeds, and you don't want hybrids, basically is what you're looking for. Ooh, Terry. Can you do a post about that? I want to know more. That is so smart. Because ties are cut on the bias, so that's a perfect idea. So do you just seam rip it apart and then cut it up? Oh yeah, that'll be fun, Aisha. I actually was looking at my rainbow one for this multicolored one, but this is more of like, it's not like a primary rainbow, you know what I mean? No GMOs, exactly. No GMOs, exactly. I had friends that had a peach orchard. I wouldn't call them friends. I don't think they'd call me friends. I knew them through other friends that were good friends of theirs, you know. And they did dry land farming, so no irrigation. And they had the sweetest, best peaches ever. They were such experts in soil management. Press, cut into strips. Huh. Oh, wow. That sounds really cool. And they're silk, too. Okay, where's the vinyl? Yeah, exactly, Terry. And I think like that is the perfect place to use like a silk binding, because then it will not get, like, it'll be smoother. You know what I mean? The texture of the fabric will be smoother. It won't get caught on things. Yeah, seam allowance is another good, I think that's a great idea. All right. It's so interesting that, and maybe it's because I'm sewing it from the bottom up. Maybe I'm wrong. I was gonna say that side's always taller than the vinyl and this one isn't. That's usually user error, or someone cut it wrong. Well, okay, so in this case, Jan, it doesn't really matter if it looks good on the inside. This looks pretty good, but it doesn't really matter, right? Because we're only going to see on the outside. And even then, it's not as critical, you know? Oh, that's cool, Ray. Okay, some I'm not going to backstitch right there. I never used to backstitch right here. The advantage is that I won't have the backstitch little tiny threads showing in my seam. The disadvantage is that when I go to pull this apart, it could pull the seam apart. So that's why I'm going to hold it like this and pull it through like that. So it doesn't spread apart there because it's not backstitched, you know. It's good practice, Jan. When I first started doing this, social media wasn't even a baby, really. It probably was a baby, but you know, it would have been so interesting if I was that type of person to have been like sharing this kind of thing, my process, so you could see how far I've come. Because I was terrible at binding when I first started. And it was just one of those things where I really wanted to use the stiffener I was using, which was kind of revolutionary at the time. Now it's not, right? We're all really well acquainted with it. And I didn't know how to finish my seams, and I wanted my lining to be smooth on the inside of the bag, not bagging out into the contents of the bag. So I was really driven to figure out how to get that stiffener in there and still get a clean finish on the inside of my bag. And I knew binding was really my only option. Is it cool or is it not? Well, you got to cut them up into binding and then it's really cool. Or, I don't know. It's up to you. Okay, so this, this is a no-no. So when I trace if you're ever tracing vinyl, try not to trace it onto the seams that are actually going to show. So when I cut all my clear wristlets out, I only traced the edges with ink that were going to get bound. I feel like that could be really a memorabilia item, Ray. I mean, that's kind of cool. My dad did not wear ties to work. Michael does not wear ties to work. I was asking him why he doesn't wear the shirt I made him, the very first thing I ever made him the other day. Because I was curious. I thought there was something wrong with it or it didn't fit anymore. And he says he thinks it's too fancy. I'll have to switch out the button. He says the buttons are too fancy. They're not. They're eye-catching though. He picked some flower buttons that were kind of cool. I should just put some like plain old white buttons on it, you know? Wish I was using my awl. It's right here. So is this boring, you guys? He considers special. I never see him wear it though. I'm wondering if part of him is like not thrilled with his button choice anymore and he doesn't really realize that. Or they're too distinctive. I don't know. My ego isn't tied up with the fact that he's not wearing a shirt I made him. It's more that I'm like, oh, well, it's a garment you could potentially be wearing. And if you want to, what can I do to make it work? Like, I would do that for any of his garments on there, you know? Yeah, I have a aunt that's been trying to give me stuff of my grandmother's because she passed away a couple years ago. And I finally just had to say, you know, the thing is, I didn't grow up with her. While she was really special to me because she visited me everywhere I lived, and I was very estranged from my dad's side of the family. So my grandparents kept in touch with me. I don't have memories with her like most grandkids would because I didn't grow up going to her house. I never saw her personal objects. You know, I saw her where she would visit me working on a farm in Colorado or visit me in Humboldt County, you know. So I finally had to say, you know, the thing is, these don't mean anything to me. And I feel like they're going to the wrong person. Like there's probably some grandkid out there who it means more to in our family. You know? It's kind of weird. I was like I got a box of stuff and I was like, what in tarnation is this stuff? Like I didn't know what any of it was, what it referenced. One cool thing I'll have to bring in, though, is she had all these sewing pins from guilds and things. She was a quilter. So that would be fun. And I saved that. She had them in an embroidery hoop, like she hung on the wall. So I hung it up, too. But they gave me, like, a quilt top that wasn't finished yet, but it felt like the one that nobody wanted, you know? I was just like, what the heck? What is this? I don't know. It didn't feel very personal. None of it. And I didn't want to hurt her feelings, but at the same time, it just felt like a burden, you know? I don't know. I don't want anyone to get my stuff that doesn't want it. Terry's on a road trip picking up all the silk ties. Is that what's happening here? Is she delivering them? Is she pre-cutting them into binding for us? Oh, Ray's going to open up her place as the Goodwill. What is one person's stuff to get rid of is another person's treasure. All right. We could sew a different bag now. We've got a few done. I'll finish this one and then we'll sew a different bag. I'll do either clear whistles or charm keepers. That's what I have. All queued up and ready to go. don't know if you're still here, Jan, but the other thing about binding is that I usually pick the way I sew it. So, and I know this goes without saying because I say it all the time, but I pick the side that's going to Terry. If I had a mod to ban you in chat, I always pick the side that's going to show, you know, and so on this bag where I'm doing right now, this edge right here, the other side of it is going to get pressed up against the cloth part of the bag. Oh, I just saw something flash on my screen. I'm going to get Malin to time out Terry and her whole glove thing. Malin probably went to bed, though. I need a mod for Terry now. Nobody's touching my binding stash. This is such an interesting print. It had bike wheels on it. This looks pretty cute though. All right, I'll put those aside. We got a bunch of those done. Let's do some clear wristlets. I'm getting hungry though. Those are charm keepers. See, if I do charm keepers, I have to do these that are already sewn because I don't really want to switch thread color, but I have a few here that already have handles, so we'll do those. That's what I'll do. I'll do some charm keepers. No, that doesn't sound crazy at all, Jan. Hi, Elena. How's it going? No, I think that that is, someone just said on one of my ASMR videos, they were like, you know, don't take this the wrong way. I like your streams, but this, you not talking and just seeing, like, it was just like full, you know, or maybe it wasn't the full video. I think it's half and half. Oh, hey, Anna. How's it going? I didn't expect to see you. How's your underwear making going? But yeah, no, I think that that does help a lot. Okay, this one I'm not sure if I remember how to sew. Okay, so, okay, I do, why did she do this to one side first? And then I do this side, right? Oh. Oh, okay. I think I got it. I have to sew inside my head. Let's see if I got it. So these already have zipper attached to one side. And it's attached correctly. Well, this one may not make it. Let's see. Let's just see how it goes. That's great, Fiona. I think that that is so underrated. Oh, this is a little tighter because the zipper. No, I agree with you all. Just seeing someone use their hands for things, yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. There was someone in chat once that's like, I have gotten better because I do exactly what your hands are doing. And so I try and sometimes say what my hands are doing because I don't really think about it, you know. Right now, my hands are pulling this so that it meets. Okay, so I have this zipper on, and then I do this, right? I put this in here. Ugh. Okay, Michelle, thanks for coming. Nice seeing you. Oh, really cool, Margit. That's awesome. It's the beginning of the school year. It's always chaos and fall and all that. And oh, are any of you making Halloween costumes? I like me some costume drama. I watch an Australian guy for gardening stuff. I love his enthusiasm and how like hands-on he is, and how he's just like, you know, you just don't need power tools for everything, you know. Okay, and now, oh, this is how I do this. We turn it right side out. You are kind of? Oh, I bet you are, Elena. I bet you are. Is it a secret or surprise? Okay, I think I top stitched this now. Where's mine? Where did I throw that thing? Okay, both edges are top stitched. Okay. Yeah, Ray. Yeah, that guy. He uses the birdies too. It's like he reads my mind, you know? I'm not even searching for how to change clay soil into stuff. Okay, Dale, not like the chipmunk. Oh, it is like the chipmunk. That's going to be adorable. Oh, I know why these never got finished. I just figured it out. This is supposed to be ribbon, not webbing. Which isn't inherently a bad thing. It was more that we would have had to like separate them out and rephotograph them and blah, blah, blah. So we didn't do that. All right, and so now we're gonna sew, we need a zipper pull. Wait, I have a zipper pull right here. Okay, this is how you use one side of zipper. Oh, that's awesome. That's like a childhood dream of mine, I think. I would have totally done that. Okay, so now we have this. So I'm going to sew this. I always try and match this down here and the top best I can. I do have the pattern for the Notions wedgie, which is a really similar item, just different proportions, but it's not sewn the same because I knew people wouldn't be okay with the half a zipper thing, you know? That wouldn't work for everybody. But look at all that ink. I gotta trim all that ink off, sis. It was the top layer of the vinyl, apparently. Should have trimmed it off first. Let's get rid of all these threads. This is kind of messy for me. All right, and then now we have to turn this bag inside out. Pop the zipper, pop the bottom, and then we're going to make our corners. Are you actually looking to buy one? I think I saw part of your comment, Elena, but it went off the screen for me. Okay, I don't have to do this perfectly because I'm just gonna chop it anyway, right? So I'm just gonna line up that center seam. I mean, a little better would be good. Like this, and we're gonna sew across the bottom. I think we did this a little differently. I'm just gonna go boink. Boink. Now I have corners. That'll be really cute, Elena. I like that. All right. Didn't really trim this or put that far enough in. Emotes, because you have them. I never like sewing these corners because since it's at an angle, you have to kind of let the binding kind of float along the edge there while you get it into position. You don't have a right angle to pull it up against. Let's tuck that in a little better. Is that a thread on the inside? Please don't say, oh good. The thread on the inside of these corners is so hard to get out. It's worth getting rid of it right now before you find it. There's one. It's so funny to be sewing these so inefficiently in a way. See, because like when you pull this back like this, right? If I were to pull it snug, what'll happen is it'll just slide right off the edge, right? So you gotta kind of like fold it, but don't pull hard tight. And this is like one of my biggest sewing lessons is that I am a tugger when I sew. I pull things really hard. I pull things too much. And so that's one of the things I still work on is not pulling so hard on things and keeping them really taut because it's not always a good thing. And this is a really good example of that because you got to like kind of let it sit there relaxed and you'll get a better result. And so sometimes that's like will be advice from me. I'll be like, don't pull so hard. Especially if you mimic my hand things, you may end up being a puller too. These feed dogs are not ideal for sewing vinyl. Okay, there we go. Okay, figured out how to sew this one. There we go. This was a really popular fabric amongst the knitting crowd. Little charm keeper. It really does, Ray. I really do think sometimes tugging is going to solve every problem, and it often, like 50-50, causes problems, you know? I'm still wondering why she only put the zipper on one side. I'll sew these 3 charm keepers and then I'll probably call it a stream. Tomorrow I will start with finishing the Charlie Caftan. that'll probably be all the fixing I'll do tomorrow, because that'll be a kind of involved. I'm gonna add a back waist elastic inset as well, to just, you know, give it more shape, since I'm gonna remove the tie altogether. Right, Heidi? Exactly, duct tape. I can't tell which side is shinier. That one is. Yeah, that's what I've been discovering, Margie, is I've been learning a lot more about composting. I used to put so many things in the compost bin, but I wasn't managing my compost bin. I was just throwing it out there. Oh, come on. It doesn't like that vinyl there. What is that? Oof. Is that, remember that thread I said was going to cause me problems? Maybe that's what that is. Oof, I'll show it to you in a second. But I wouldn't manage my compost bin, and now that I am, I realize if I had been before, I would not have been throwing so many things, like paper coffee filters. It's basically trash. My compost bin's not going to break that down anytime soon. And the compost bin breaks things down fast. Like, I put watermelon rinds in there every week, a whole watermelon rind in there every week, and it's gone by the next week when I do my next watermelon, you know? So it's working, but paper, like, everything kind of floats to the top, you know, like every tag that didn't get taken off of a piece of fruit or vegetable, you know, like the little stickers telling me where it's from or whatever. Oh, yeah, let me fix that. Yeah, look at, where's that bobbin at? Oh, right here. You see that? Well, hot mess. I don't know what that is or why it did it, but I'll just take all this out. Oof. There's a lot of threads and stitches there. Okay. At least it came out easy, because that was like a mile of thread right there. And that compost bin that I didn't maintain, it still worked pretty good. Yeah, exactly, Margie. Yeah. It still worked pretty good. It wasn't hot where I did this, where I wasn't managing my bin. But like a couple of times I lost a chicken, like they passed away. And I could put it in my compost bin and it would decompose. No problem. Oh yeah, Elena, right? Yeah, so the leaves, I don't put leaves in my compost bin. There's just too much, you know? So I put the leaves on areas of the yard where I want to keep down the weeds. Shoot, I have these threads in my vinyl. And it's fabric thread. When you cut pieces like, oh, look at that. That still didn't sew. Oh, I'm out of bobbin. I ran out of bobbin. What the heck? That was that little thread then. That was that little thread giving me a headache. Oh, I'll probably go until I run out of bobbin. I need to put a cream one on. All right, tell me your best strategy for leaves. Okay, so I'm kind of new to the whole leaf thing, right? And we get a lot. So what is your strategy? Do you, do you have a blower? Do you rake it out of all your beds? Like, so all the leaves that fall into your bed surrounding your lawn or your yard or whatever you have, right? Do you rake those out, put them onto the, oh, sewing fairy emote. I had to write these down. Do you like rake those onto the ground and then mow them and pick them up with the mower? And then what about the areas where you can't mow? Do you put how do you get rid of leaves? Do you put them onto a tarp and then you carry them to a bin? I want to know that. That's what I want to know. I'm going to write these down. Because I've already forgotten one. I showed how I draw an elephant. Okay, sewing fairy, lurk, and experiment. Okay, I'm already working on the experiment. Let's do an experiment. Mine's the clover. Clover tapered tailors all. This is my seam ripper. It's linked on my website, but it's an affiliate link. But you can at least look at it. I need some water, man. He blows them into the shrub beds. I can't do that. I gotta get them out of the beds, otherwise they'll ruin the plants. You know? Yeah, that's the tapered tailors all, Fiona. Remember that. You want the tapered tailors all, because there's like 3. There's probably a tailors all, a stiletto, and the tapered tailors all. I know I'm being kind of nerdy by saying that, but I'm telling you, it's different. It's the difference between, like, if you're using a stiletto, which is really, really pointy, what'll happen is it'll grab your fabric so easily, it'll just poke all the way through. Whereas, see, look, this one doesn't poke through very easily. I have to push pretty hard. So it's kind of like chonky at right here. And then that way you can really grab your fabric like this without piercing it. And because if you just pierce it, if you go straight through, you don't grab it. It's like, and you can ruin it, right? It's different. Okay, where's that pesky seam that didn't even get sewn in all this hoo-ha? So there's enough room in the green waist, but yeah. Okay, so y'all are really picking them up then with your hands or the rake. You blow them into a pile and then reverse blower to mulch. I want a plan this year, you know? Like a method. Yeah, we're in the county. Do you know the Johnsons who come in Jose Math fast and lots of leaves trying to go over? No, I'll check that out. Johnson's who? Okay. I'll check that out. Yeah, we don't have too much except for like a short time of the year, you know? You know. Let me get this one thread. See how I have this thread right here poking out of my seam? Can you see that? That's the kind of thread you actually should go into your seam here and just find it. And I think I saw it a second ago. Right here. I think this is it. Right here. Yep. There we go. Yeah, so I don't have to worry about that, Elena, but they will get like gooey because it doesn't freeze like it does there. So that's why I try and get rid of them right away. And it'll encourage, you know, pests and things like that where I don't want them. So I want to do like, maybe I'll look at Margit's recommendation too. It's more the, like, I don't mind like blowing them into or raking them. I do both, into the lawn. But we have a really small lawn. We have 5 acres. And so I don't get rid of the leaves everywhere because it's just like ground cover some places, but we keep up on it too because of fire stuff. Like it's literally dry, it's like kindling, right? So we want to get rid of it mostly. So I'm wondering what people do, like if your driveway is covered with leaves, well, it's like if you're living in suburbia, you're gonna do the same thing, but I want to know like how you're getting those leaves into whatever you're putting them in. Yeah, Fiona, exactly. I just wanted to make sure, because I've heard people say, oh, mine doesn't work like yours. and that's probably why. Okay. You used to take the neighbor's leaves when you had more energy, yeah. I don't want the neighbor's leaves. If anything, I would trade places because we have the creeks on our property, so we get the most leaves. So there's more stuff growing, you know. But I wouldn't trade yards because like my neighbor, he has volcanic rock all over his yard and he's just like slow, years-long process of removing it. Rake in his hands. Okay, Barbara. See, that's the thing. That's the thing I want to hear is like, there's no secret. Because I know some of you guys were all talking about a vacuum. But it has to be perfectly dry, right? All right. So I could check the vacuum because it does stay dry here for the most part, you know. All right, this time this is going to go smoother. I don't like all these threads I have over here. This looks really messy and unprofessional. I don't like that. Your blower has a vacuum. I wonder if ours does. So when you vacuum, is it going into a backpack, Aisha? Like, where are they going? Where are you sucking them into? I have a backpack blower, but it's like basically the motor, you know? How I know where to do this is that I lined this edge up. Usually it was a little bit nicer. I can't remember, but I think that we got to the point where we pre-cut these corners. The factory did. But I line this up to a line on my throat plate. So right now it's lining up to like the 1-inch mark. And then that way I know if I line this one up to the 1-inch mark and the other one to the 1-inch mark, they'll be the same distance here. Oh. Okay, Noemi. Hi, Miranda, and hi, Noemi. Okay, so you use a rake that's for horse manure, lightweight. Okay, that is such a great tip. I needed to hear that. Thank you. Someone uses their snow shovel. Okay. It goes into a bag that we have replaced multiple times. My wife thinks it's too dirty for me to put near my sewing machine. Oh, yeah, Barbara, I've seen those, the scoopers. Okay. Thanks for all the tips, you guys, and not making fun of me. I dare someone to make fun of me. Do I make fun of people when they don't know how to sew something? No. Okay, the rake, and then I have the, okay, what is it, Margie? Sue, what's it? Johnson Sue. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. I thought I was going to remember it, and then I started to forget it. Okay, Johnson Sue bioreactor compost. This dying. Okay, horse rake. All right. Oh, you guys are so helpful. I knew I could ask you. Oh, I know that method, Margit. I have those wire cages. I actually think I have the things to make compost tea too. I'm pretty sure this guy, before he sold the place, was growing things for sale. Is this bag wonky? This bag better not be wonky. It might be wonky. There were a few things left behind that he didn't bring that made me kind of suspicious. You need to rake today, Miranda? Oh, I'm getting tips. You can put it off if you just stay here, you know, pretend like you're getting tips for it, right? Even though it sounds like you probably don't need any. Okay, Elena, that's also what I was thinking too. It just takes time. And I actually don't mind it for the most part, but part of me sometimes thinks, am I doing this the best way, you know, or the most expedient way? My skin is so unhappy with our property right now. Excellent things. Oops. I think it's good too to keep up on it. If we missed one weekend, it was so awful. And I just want to shake the trees sometimes. No, Margit, I don't mean a legal thing to sell. I'm in California. It's legal now, but not quite like that. He had a little room with, you know, grow lights and ventilation. So it's very common to stumble upon those. Yeah, right, Libby? Well, and you wouldn't want trees over that beautiful swimming pool, you know? Always pop out your zipper. Because that was the one thing, like, when we had a pool, they planted a mulberry tree next to it. It was ridiculous. This thing takes way longer than I remember them taking to sew. Oh, it's making me grouchy. Yeah, exactly, Miranda. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they didn't pick up our recycling one week, and it's only every other week that they do it, and that's mostly what we generate. We generate hardly any garbage, and so we were like, oh no, this is not good for us, and we've been playing catch up ever since. You know, like, this is the week that we think that we'll be on track and we'll finally have an empty recycling bin at the end of it, but we've had to like cram it full every week. And they didn't take it yesterday, and I'm like, oh no, they were supposed to take it. Yeah, that's what I think, Margie. I think I should collect them more. I've just been like putting them on top of blackberry so the blackberry doesn't grow too good. Yeah, I know. Mulberries were, I think they were kind of trendy around here for a while because they're kind of common in some of the neighborhoods in the suburban area, and they are just, oof, big old leaves, huge leaves, you know, like cover your pool. They don't cover your pool, but they're kind of like, and different varieties are worse than others, obviously. Beautiful tree though, but then you also had to like, it's the kind that you trim them back every year and they look like nubs. It looks like the Whomping Willow from the Harry Potter movies. You know? They look kind of ugly when they're trimmed back. All right. sewing on the vinyl, so I'm just kind of pushing it like this to make sure that it doesn't make the fabric slide on the vinyl. And then it would be too short or it would be like torquing. That's the danger with this bag, the torquing. Okay, Margit, thanks. Oh, that's not bad, Libby. I love crepe myrtle. That's native, by the way. Yeah, exactly. They have to prune them like that, Barbara. I know. If I think of them like the Whomping Willow, it's more tolerable. And it's also expensive. If you have trees that have to be pruned every year, that's a lot of money. And there's really, that's the one thing, if I'm going to recommend, yeah, right, Margie, I did. The one thing I recommend you always hire a professional for is an actual arborist to trim your trees. And not that person that's like, oh, I worked for one and I know what I'm doing. Don't do it. I can speak from so many different experiences for that. This is the satisfying top stitching, you know? There we go. I'm starting to get a little faster at this, finally. Yeah, I worked on a farm, but I worked on livestock. So I was aware of all what the gardening group was doing, and I would help them, you know, like if they needed, like, oh, we have a really big push to harvest something, can the livestock crew help? But that wasn't my area. But if you know, your lamb's gonna give birth or your sheep's gonna give birth, I was there. That's what I did. Milk a cow, a goat. I managed the dairy goats. Oh, that was not good. That was too far off right there. Oh, come on. Oh gosh, Miranda, I am not surprised. I remember going to this one local nursery and I was asking for advice about something. They were like, just don't buy a mulberry. I was like, oh, okay. I had no clue we already had 2 in our yard. We'd just gotten the house. Wait. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, exactly, Margie. The manure was the best, exactly. We had 5 different types of animals. There was no shortage of that, of manure. I'm gonna just trim this purple ink off here. And here. All right. Okay. That's such a good way to put it, Miranda. The good and the bad. Exactly. Pop. Yeah, I think I used to be much more tolerant of certain plants I would buy for certain things. And then over time I'd be like, I don't want to deal with that anymore. Right now, my goal with our yard is to make it, I want it to look I think this is kind of lofty, but I kind of want it to look somewhat more natural to native, right? And that would be, like, we're talking a decades approach, because I don't think there's much native on the property, even though he's the only person who ever lived there. Well, in modern history, right? Because it definitely was something on a wagon route at some point, like a boat-covered wagon route or something, or a stagecoach route or something. I don't know. We don't really know. It wasn't like significant or anything like that, right? That's kind of common in these parts in California. So, but there's a lot of olive trees here, which are definitely not native. And olive trees, while they're really beautiful and they're really cool, they're also very invasive. It's not that they're invasive in that they get rid of other habitat, but they reproduce really easily. And they're not easy to cut because, well, they're just not easy to cut. Like, you can't just like weed whack the sucker shoots. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, bougainvillea. Yeah, exactly. Bougainvillea is such a good example of that. Oh my gosh, I want one so bad, but yeah, they are pretty pokey. This is not cut very straight, so I'm going to straighten it out a little bit. So our last house, we ended up planting, we took everything out, we planted all natives in the front yard, and it was so nice, and it was so easy to take care of. And there wasn't much to remove in the first place, so it wasn't like we were getting rid of anything. And it was really drought tolerant, and it attracted a lot of like butterflies. It was great. It looked really pretty. And we just had to water a tiny bit. But I like the way this guy landscaped his yard. He was really into color and the way one plant looked in front of another. He was really good at that. But there's some really interesting plants in my yard because of it, and they look really out of context. Like, you pull up to my house and there's palm trees. There's oaks everywhere. Oaks are native, and then there's, you know, the olive trees, which are not. And it was because of the ag, like one of the university ag extensions or co-ops was out there. So that's why they're growing there. But then you see these palm trees, and it just looks so not native to California, by the way. I know that seems like a very California thing, but not where I live. I live in the Sierra Nevada foothills, you know, so it's more scrubby and oaks and things like that. It's a different kind of beauty, you know. It's drier, more deserty, but still has trees. So I don't know. So I'm not planting anything that's not native, but I'm not getting rid of much yet. But we are getting, I want to get rid of the palm trees, and they're beautiful. They're like really established, but they just, I don't know, they're just kind of out of context to me. I think there's a ton of bird nests in them though, so we've decided we're going to assess that, you know. So, all right. I thought I'm going to call it there so I can go eat lunch. But I got some stuff done. That's great. So tomorrow I'm going to do the closet court Charlie fix the inset. I have the ironing board cover I can sew, and I have some more bags. I don't know. We have a few different palm trees. We cannot trim the fronds on two of them because they aren't, like, one of them, when the palm fronds start wilting, you can just tug them off if you can reach it. The others, you can't do that. And they need to be trimmed up, you know, like that. You need to trim it up and make it look nice. Rodents can live in them too. That doesn't bug me too much, but the, yeah. To a NorCal native, the landscape around you is quintessential. Yeah, up around you is, yeah. Libby's been here, and it is, like, as you're coming up to here, it is very, very quintessentially inner NorCal. But then you know, and I remember when we first drove up to the house, I was like, oh, palm trees. People love them though, and I just am like, eh. The guy on the corner, he had 29 date palms, the kinds that grow dates. They're worth like $15,000 each, and it was his retirement. He planted them so then he would sell them as his retirement, and he didn't stay there. I don't know what happened to him, but he moved away, and so the new guy, he's maintaining the whole. Is it an orchard if it's date palms? That's an orchard, right? There were 29 of them, by the way. That's a lot of money. And he said he sold one, and then someone else sold a couple, the people before them, so you can sell them. I did, Terry. I got a lot done. Thanks for hanging out with me. I know it's not the most riveting. Okay, so next month in October, I haven't planned my projects yet. I kind of have. This is what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? Okay, I have a rayon that I want to make some pajamas out of. Oh my gosh, date shakes. That so reminds me of the date festival. No, they're huge, but they're short. Ray, they're short. Grove. Yeah, I think you're right. Thank you. I think it's a grove of date palms. So I have, this is what I'm thinking. One of my most popular streams is the Caroline Pajamas by Closet Core. And I could sew those again, but honestly, I don't know if I really want those. I will do it if you guys are like, please do that. I would like to see a refresher on that. I will do it. But what I was thinking is doing, let me show you. I need to look it up. Let's check it out. So I Love Notions has this pajama pattern that is basically, I'm not going to accuse her of copying things, but I think she copied a very favorite pajama pattern from a magazine, a catalog. Here it is right here. I think this is knit though. Yeah, it's knit. I'll show you what it is. But I think that this is a direct copy of the Garnet Hill pajamas. Those are knit though. Okay, so maybe I'll do wow, I don't want a button down. I just won't wear it to sleep in. I think it's a ridiculous thing to sleep in. I don't know why. But maybe I'll make a top like that one is. It's got the overlap. That's what I'll do. Maybe we'll draft some things. So I'll use maybe the pants from the Closet Core pattern, but I'll make the top a woven version of this. You see how it has the wrap? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to do that in October, and maybe I'll do the Divided Basket by Noodlehead. I'm going to try and fit those in. So, and then November, I'm doing a Merchant and Mills pattern too. Yeah, me too, Barbara, but I just don't want to sleep in a button-up. It's so bulky. You know? Don't hate me. I just don't sleep in my Caroline pajama tops. I get them out, I decide to donate them, and then I'm like, don't donate these. These are really nice. You should just wear these. And then I try and wear it, and I'm like, I hate this. You like that, Patrick? How's your sloper doing? Your sloper making going, Patrick? You got a lot of interest in the guild. Hopefully that wasn't too overwhelming. Just make sure you set your boundaries if you need to. I'm sure they'll understand. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We'll do some pattern drafting. And I am gearing up to start doing a lot more pattern drafting next year. I have some things in the works. So, they're going to be more. It's my wheelhouse. I really want to do it. So, all right. I'm going to head out. Thanks for hanging out with me and letting me get my my to-do list down. So, Oh, good. I'm glad, Patrick. That's awesome. I think we're all excited to see that. That'll be great. It was a very kind thing you offered. I won't tell the whole chat here what you offered. You have to join the guild to find out because I'm not going to put him under the bus like that. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, it's a busy time of year. That's nice of you to help your niece, too. All right. Well, thanks for you guys becoming members, my new channel membership. I got to type my emotes in chat again. I got off on a tangent, so we'll do this one here. But I really appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Hasta mañana, iguanas. I'll see you tomorrow. Sound good? Thanks for all the gardening advice. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Oh, it didn't do it. Bye.